when it comes to offering salah. It's time for salah, I'm working, I need to stop and go make salah. Because this is worship, it doesn't have to prevent me from the bigger worship, which is salah. As-salatu, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, imaduddin. Salah is the pillar of the deen. The pillar of the deen is salah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever brings that pillar down has destroyed all his deen. Man hadamaha faqad hadama ad-din, says Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa sahbihi wasallam. So we do our best to make salah on time, to perform salah in jama'ah if possible, at the masjid. If not, if I have two people where I do work, I put them together and we make salah together. If not, I do it myself. Bottom line is, I don't want to miss salah. I don't want to go home and start paying the missed salahs of the day. There is no excuse for that. Inna salata, says Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. So we need to plan our day. We need to plan for our life. And we need help for that. And that one of the biggest help is suhbah or rufqa as-salih, good companionship. The Prophet ﷺ says, be aware of the person with whom you hang out. Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil. One of the salihun was once asked about how a Muslim starts his day. He says, first of all, he has to start his day with at least 11 raka'at of witr. You know, he didn't want you to wait, he doesn't want you to wait until after Fajr. But the very night, you spend it in worship. If you say, if you are lazy, and you shouldn't be lazy, إِذَا تَكَاسَلَ وَلَا يَنْبَغِي لَهُ أي ولا ينبغي له أن يتكاسل. At least 11 rak'at per night. And especially at pre-dawn, before Fajr. To make your witr before Fajr, if possible. And sits down there, the person sits down, or a Muslim sits down there, making istighfar. Because Allah Ta'ala describes the believers are those who make istighfar at dawn. وَبِالْأَسْحَارِهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. As Allah Ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Dhariyat. That's how he says that a Muslim starts his day. And that will help the person enter into the process of purifying the soul, the self, the ego. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Because تزكية النفس في المعرفة بأن المرء ليس له قدرة في الكمال، قدرة في التزكية إلا بعون من الله تبارك وتعالى. وكمال النفس في معرفة عدم كمالها وقدرتها في عجزها أمام الله تبارك وتعالى وغناها في فقرها إلى الله تبارك وتعالى. When I acknowledge my insignificance, when I acknowledge my powerlessness, when I acknowledge my imperfection, that is the very beginning of the entrance into the perfection, into power, into purification, into the hadr of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And the person, the believer, makes sure that he prays Fajr on time, and if possible, and it has to be possible, to do so with the Jama'ah. To do so with the Jama'ah. And after the prayer of Fajr, there is an opportunity for all of us to gain the reward of Hajj and Umrah according to Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when the believer starts his day with these 11 rak'at list of which, with istighfar bil ashar, with Salatul Fajr on time, with the Jama'ah, to sit there. If he has to go to work, he has his tasbih or any tool he may use to make dhikr until the sun rises. Then makes 2 rak'ah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that whoever prays Fajr with the Jama'ah and stays there making dhikr until the sun rises and prays 2 rak'ah, then Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will give him the reward of a complete Hajj and Umrah. That is a blessed time that we don't want to neglect. It doesn't have to be an excuse that I have to take the train or I have to drive to work. Of course, if I have to go, I go to work, but I do still do the dhikr. I do still do the istighfar. I do still do the salat ala nabi. I do still spend that very moment in worship. And when I know that it is sunrise, after sunrise, I do my best to find a spot to make 2 rak'ah. If I don't have a place, I do them sitting. However I am. Because in Islam, whenever it is difficult, it makes it become easy. It makes it become easy. The Prophet ﷺ used to make nawafil on his dabbar. You know, he was traveling, he's riding, yet he's making nawafil. So sometimes you travel on a plane and you know that time is it's going to go. If you do wait until you go home, you make salah where you are at the plane. If you can make fard like that, how about something that is not obligatory, it is recommended. And you have this reward according to Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And the Muslim makes sure that he does not miss what is called Salatul Awwabin, which is Salatul Duha, the forenoon prayer. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah says that it is one of the 3 things the Prophet ﷺ recommended me to never abandon, Salatul Duha. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in a hadith Qudsi narrated by Rasulullah ﷺ, and the hadith is in the collection of Sayyidina Ahmad and other hadith collectors. Allah says, Ibn Adam, O son of Adam, irka' li 4 raka'atin awwal an-nahari akuffaka akhirahu. O son of Adam, pray for me 4 raka'ah at the beginning of the night so that I can protect you until the end of, at the beginning of the day, so that I can protect you, or I suffice you for the rest of the day. 4 raka'ah at the beginning of the day. And those 4 raka'ah, according to the scholars, many of the scholars, is the 4 raka'ah of duha. You can do 2 raka'ah if you want, up to 8, but at least try to do 4 raka'ah so that you may meet the reward mentioned in this hadith al-Qudsi. Irka' li 4 raka'atin. Only 4 raka'ah, Allah says in this hadith.